Okay, let's take a look at something interesting that we can do with a primitive data type called Boolean that has a bunch of different purposes. So a Boolean has one of two things. So it can be, so Boolean, let's do A and Boolean B. So what these can be is they only have two values. They can be true or they can be false. So if I wanted to print these out, so we'll do A on one line and then B on the next one. This is what I would get. So you get true and then false, which is the value of A and then the value of B. So, I mean, it's rarely useful to print out the result of one of these. Usually we want to use them in some sort of comparison. So what you could do is you can store the result of a comparison inside one of these Boolean values. So if I wanted to store 2 less than 5, and in B I wanted to store 5 less than 8, what we could do is I'm just going to repeat these two lines, print this again, and you're going to find that those are both true. So we're going to add true, false, true, true, because the second set is represented here. So they can receive the result of one of these. You can specifically set them to true or false. Typically what we use these for is we use them in an if statement. So if A equals true, then what we're going to do is system.out.println. Let's say A is true. And then we can run this. And we can say A is true. However, we don't really need to use this full notation for this with the A equals true, because A already has the value true. So typically what we do when we're writing one of these, we would do it this way. If B, and then I'm going to copy and paste this. So what happens here is because B has the value true, then this is a true statement. When an if statement has a true as its result, then it prints the ensuing whatever we want it to do. So what we're going to get here is A is true, B is true. Now we can do this in a comparison as well. So if we wanted to do if A and B, then we can print out both are true. And if we wanted to similarly use an or here, then we can put, I guess the logic to this one would be at least one is true. So I can run this. And we get A is true, B is true. Both are true, at least one is true. Now, what I want to do is, just because it's something that we don't use quite as often, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this false. So whatever the reverse of this is the case. So what we can do, this is not, which reverses a Boolean result. So the result of B is now going to be false. So let's see what happens with our program now. So you can see here, this is the one representing B. B is false. So we get the A is true printed. This is a false statement. So you do not get the line that says B is true. When you're getting an and, both sides need to be true in order to print the result. So because A is true and B is false, the entire thing is false, so we don't get the both are true. When you're using an or, only one side has to be true. So because A is true and B is false, this is true, which makes the entire statement true, which is why we get at least one is true. There we go. So these are commonly used to carry whether something is true or false from one part of the program to another part of the program. And they're often used in different combinations with if statements to display or control the flow of your program.